In 2012, one-third of all children were considered overweight or obese here in America, according to the Centers for Disease and Prevention. And they say that number is rising. How many would you say is for today? Childhood obesity is an issue that must be faced immediately. I'm going to face 3 facts of a child's life that will influence the overall results of their future success. That is the family life, the school life, and the social media that will impact their decisions. As a single mom of 4, I'm here to verify that by setting in standards and by setting in guidelines of what I would expect for them to know and educating on them what's to be expected, they will, however, lead a happy, successful life. First, let's take a look at the family life. Everyone always assumes it's always the parent's role in deciding if a child is overweight or obese. I have decisions to make as well. I have economic status. If I'm lower income versus higher income, what I can afford when I go to the supermarket. Also, when I'm working a second job, because economic status can't come home and work one job, I then have to decide what will be available for them to eat. When I get home in between jobs, oftentimes, is it a quick meal? Is it in front of the TV watching the news? Or is it something that is at the table having conversation about their day and setting a well-balanced diet? All of these influences will impact the overall success of a child. Now, my children are very active. They like to be in sports, but oftentimes these practices go until 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Now, according to the Center of National Sleep Foundation for Children, they suggest that children ages 3 to 5 get 10 to 13 hours of sleep, while ages 6 to 13 get 9 to 11 hours of sleep. That's quite a bit of sleep considering that we may not get home until 10 o'clock. Now, I know when I'm tired or stressed out, typically I'm going to grab for the no nutrition, carbohydrate, high sugar, make me feel good foods that often impact the weight loss or gain that I may have. When I asked my audience earlier, who is to blame for this issue, all but one said that it was a parent's result of the choices that they made for children being obese or overweight. When I asked them, how many do you suppose are in America that are overweight? Many of them said 50% or more, or staggering high numbers. That is all part of a child's life, and I can't disagree. However, I'm going to influence you on the next part, and that is the child's school life. A child's school has rules that they must follow under the U.S. government. Those rules indicate how much physical activity they have, where their food comes from, is their food prepackaged or is it made homemade, and how we're going to educate our parents. The children right now are oftentimes being served meals that are prepackaged. When you go up for extras, you can go up for soggy broccoli or soggy spinach that was served 3 weeks ago in another country. This is ridiculous. Parents need to be educated on what their children are eating and the high sodium that is in this government food. Also, they have no determination on if it's a protein. Is it a high quality protein versus if it's a lower protein? Recently, I've talked to the school principal at my child's school, and they had said that 120 minutes is what's regulated for this school program for the last 2 weeks of physical education. However, we want our children to have 60 minutes a day of that physical activity. Where are they supposed to get all of that time put in? And as a child grows, oftentimes there's pop machines available for them to pick out snacks and high fructose corn syrup drinks that oftentimes gives them energy throughout the day. As a mom, I would rather have them drinking water, or water. But this leads me to my third thing, advertisement. Now, my child comes home from school, they have 2 hours alone, and they're sitting in front of a TV. The advertisement that's on TV will influence the way that they choose the next decision. According to the Federal Trade Commission report, in America, in 2009, $1.79 billion was at marketing to children. Oftentimes, way more sugar, sodium, and extra additives that are addictive are put into those foods. But it oftentimes has less nutrition. Who is to decide what is being marketed to those children and what needs to be on their label? Because you see low fat, no fat, does that mean it's healthier? Or does that mean that we've substituted for something different? Seems pretty simple what we can do to influence our children to make healthier choices. So let's start by solving these issues. First, let's go back to the family life. As a parent, you need to prepare for those meals. On a Sunday, you need to prepare for the weeks ahead. Also, you need to buy less boxed foods. If we influence these parents to have a healthier lifestyle that consists of nutritional, whole grain, whole foods, the child is going to then be impacted by what they're eating. Make sure our kids get enough sleep. Our children need to be in sports, and that is very impactful for the physical activity that they get. But when a coach practices a schedule from 9:30 to 10:30 at night, do you think that it's our right to stand up? I think absolutely it is. We need to take a stand on what's most important for our children. Begin with opening up to the healthy nutrition. Just because it's nutritious does not mean that it's not good for you, does not mean that it does not taste good, and does not mean that your children will not like it. Be open to the option of buying in the supermarket healthier foods and having better results in the end. School life. We need to stop the government dictating where our food is coming from and how much processed food we are consuming. At events, I would like to go to an art event for my child at night, but be offered chicken and broccoli versus pizza or chicken nuggets. We need to tell those schools what we're expecting as a parent and how we expect for them to follow through with our nutritional needs. Also in the media, when something is advertised on television, I believe that it is our job as a parent to sit down with them and educate them on, yes, it may look good, yes, it may taste good, but in the end, is that the overall result we have? And as we've proven here today, by challenging lifestyle at home, school, and the media, we can indeed change the lifestyle of our children and eliminate the issues of the obesity here in America. We now have talked about 3 areas of a child's life: home life, school life, and advertisement. But we also have discussed ways to empower the parents to work with their children and improving their lifestyle. We have mentioned changing the rules that the government sets for us physical activity and the food program standards in our schools, and to buy local and eat fresh. Our final goal was to make it clear for companies to advertise their products with clear labels that indicate what is truly being in their products. Although it is easier to always place blame on everyone else, as you can see, it's a village that for our children needs us fully to participate in order to create a healthy lifestyle for them all to grow and be healthy, happy children.